Dear students, today we are going to learn about the biodiversity of our country, India. If you carefully observe, our country is crowned with the evergreen Himalayas on the north, followed by the Gangetic Plain below, the Deccan Plateau at the center, which is surrounded by the Eastern Ghats towards the Bay of Bengal, the Western Ghats towards the Arabian Ocean, and the Aravalli towards the northwest. All the green areas represent the rich vegetational land and river fed agricultural lands, and the yellow to brown areas towards the center of the country represent dry to desert areas or low rainfall lands. The northeast is surrounded by hills. Geological events in the landmass of India have provided conditions for high levels of biological diversity. Plants and animals that had evolved both in Europe and in the Far East migrated to India before the Himalayas had formed. A final influx came from Africa with Ethiopian species which were adapted to the savannas and semi-arid regions. A semi-arid climate or steppe climate is the climate of a region that receives precipitation below potential evapotranspiration but not extremely. A savanna is a rolling grassland scattered with shrubs and isolated trees which can be found between a tropical rainforest and desert biome. Not enough rain falls on the savanna to support forests. Savannas are also known as tropical grasslands. We are now observing a typical savanna here. Thus, India's special geographical position between three distinctive centers of biological evolution and radiation of species is responsible for our rich and varied biodiversity. Among the biologically rich nations, India stands among the top 10 or 15 countries for its great variety of plants and animals, many of which are not found elsewhere. India has about 350 different mammals, rated 8th highest position in the world. Let us look at some of the giant mammals in our country: the elephant, the leopard, the tiger, giraffe, dogs, rabbit, and so on. About 1200 species of birds, 8th position in the world. Just have a look at these beautiful chirping birds of the dawn and dusk. They are India's wonderful property, not one or two, but more than 1200 species. India has about 453 species of reptiles, occupying a 5th position in the world. It is really amazing. They are so beautiful and colorful and highly venomous too. Our country has about 45,000 plant species, of which most are angiosperms or flowering plants, occupying the 15th position in the world. Tiny and large, India has 50,000 known species of insects, including 13,000 butterflies and moths. It is estimated that 18% of Indian plants are endemic to the country and found nowhere else in the world. Endemic means the particular organism is present only in a particular region on the earth. Among amphibians found in India, 62% are unique to this country. Among lizards, of the 153 species recorded, 50% are endemic. High endemism has also been recorded for various groups of insects, marine worms, centipedes, mayflies, and freshwater sponges. Mammals occupy the 8th rank. birds the 8th rank, reptiles the 5th rank, the amphibia 15th rank, and the angiosperms 15th rank. Apart from the high biodiversity of Indian wild plants and animals, there is also a great diversity of cultivated crops and breeds of domestic livestock. This is a result of several thousand years during which civilization have grown and flourished in the Indian subcontinent. The traditional cultivars included 30,000 to 50,000 varieties of rice and a number of cereals, vegetables and fruits. The highest diversity of cultivars is concentrated in the high rainfall areas of the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats, the Northern Himalayas and the Northeastern Hills. Gene banks have collected over 34,000 cereals and 22,000 pulses grown in India. India has 27 indigenous breeds of cattle, 40 breeds of sheep, 22 breeds of goats and 8 breeds of buffaloes. Look at some of the indigenous cows here. Here we are seeing some of the sheep breeds, and here are some of the goat breeds in different states. Now, let us know about the endangered and endemic species of India. First of all, what is endangered? Animals or plants that may soon will not exist on this earth because there are very few are living now. What is endemic? Endemism is the ecological state of a species being unique to a defined geographical location, such as an island, nation, country or other defined zone or habitat type. To appreciate the endemic and endangered species of India, it is important to understand the wide variety of plants and animal species that are found in our country. Of the well-known species, there are several which are endangered by human activity. The endangered species in the country are categorized as vulnerable, rare, indeterminate and threatened. Other species are found only in India and are thus endemic or restricted to our country only. Some of these may have very localized distribution and are considered highly endemic. Several plant and animal species in the country are now found only one or a few protected areas. Among the important endangered animals are charismatic species such as the tiger, the elephant, the rhino and so on. The less well-known major mammals restricted to a single area include the Indian wild ass, the hangul or Kashmir stag, the golden langur, the pygmy hog and the host of others. Here look at the Indian wild ass. This is the Kashmiri stag, the golden langur and the pygmy hog. There are also endangered bird species such as Siberian crane, the great Indian bustard, the florican and several birds of prey. Here you are observing these endangered species. The Siberian crane, the great Indian bustard and the florican bird. During the recent past, vultures which were common a decade ago have suddenly disappeared and are now highly threatened. Equally threatened are several species of reptiles and amphibia. Many invertebrates are also threatened, including a large number of species that inhabit our coral reefs. Many plant species are now increasingly threatened due to changes in their habitats induced by human activity. Apart from major trees, shrubs and climbers that are extremely habitat specific and thus endangered. There are thousands of small herbs which are greatly threatened by habitat loss. Habitat loss means their place is occupied by human beings. Several orchids are yet another group of plants that are under threat. Many plants are threatened due to overharvesting as ingredients in medicinal products. To protect endangered species, India has created the Wildlife Protection Act. This includes lists of plants and animals categorized according to the threat and their survival. We know so little about the species diversity of our country. There are several groups of which we know very little. Most of us are only aware of the plight of a few glamorous large mammals. We need to find ways to support the conservation of our incredible wildlife for our future generations. It is an esteemed duty of every citizen of our nation to follow environment protection rules and regulations, to contribute to the welfare of nature, to nurture and protect our biodiversity. With this, I would like to conclude this session. Until we meet again with more of it, goodbye.